Hi, Norman.
Good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Hey, we're finishing up season, so when season is done, I know I owe you a phone call, some collaboration.
No problem. No problem. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you, thank you. I appreciate your patience. Hi, Dominasia.
Hey, coach.
Welcome. Hi, Miriam.
Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing?
Good. Hi, Miriam.
Hey, Norman. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to do introductions. But I wanted to introduce Jodi, Dr. Jodi Jensen, to Norman Seavers. Norman is our Triathlon Council chair. And so I just missed doing the introduction when I sent out the emails to add him into the introduction. But as the triathlon chair, just a great chance to talk about the work that's done at Hampton and connect you both together. I think I did previously to say that there's some great initiatives, Norman, that are coming from Dr. Jensen out of Hampton University. She's connected to Sika and Henry, who you've introduced us to. And there's some great synergies there between all that we're doing.
Perfect. Perfect. Good stuff.
Absolutely. But she's going to run the show. She's got all the questions. Angela's going to come on here in a few, in about 5 minutes, I believe. And she's going to kick things off for us. And it's being recorded. So we'll take the recording and be able to post it everywhere for everybody.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I was going to say, you and Angela both, y'all are very busy people. I was just speaking with Norman earlier that yes, we connected through your email information, and I was telling him I owe him a phone call. We go to nationals next week, and so yeah. So boy, let me tell you something, Norman. Where are you located? Where are you
I'm
based out of?
I'm in South Florida. I'm just west of Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, because we're supposed to race at Clearmount,
Okay.
and
Okay.
it was the site was damaged, and so they were scrambling to where the alternate site was going to be, and literally just found out today that we are doing an open water swim. We had pool space available to us, but they really wanted to do open water swim. So we're doing the open water swim on Friday. And then on Saturday, we're going to do the bike run at Lake Louisa State Park. So it's really, I mean, you live it. You're down in Florida, so you can't control the weather, and certainly, as you know, being a triathlete, you've got to adapt, and some things are just out of your control.
Yes, and hurricanes are. Yeah, Doctor, you guys still like that area. It's a little more rolling than than flat Florida, but a guy, Fred Summers, has done races up there for 30, 40 years, so it's got a really good, healthy triathlon community and community support. It's growing a lot, but there's still good community support too.
Awesome. Hi, Angela.
So, hey, everybody. Okay, so everyone has already met each other. And so, as we know, if you didn't, I got to figure out this background. I thought I gave everybody. We'll make sure you get your backgrounds in the future, or if I get to. So basically, some of what we're going to do today, Norman, will open with you. Like if you can bring the welcome as from the Triathlon Council, and then just in terms of diversity and aquatics, and then just introducing us as a team. And then what I'll do, if you throw it over to me, then what I'll do is because typically when Dr. Lynch and I have done this, we've tag team with the welcome, or we could do it in reverse. I welcome and say, hey, as the overview, and welcome from diversity and aquatics. In terms of our council, this is presented by our Tri-Council, and introduce you as our Tri-Council chair. And then just share with the introduction of Dr. Jodi Jensen from Hampton University, and under our HBCU council with it. So it's really a mixture. And then Dr. Jensen is prepared to do her Q&A with her team in a sense. And so this is basically a flow of consciousness in the moment, awakening. And then as we get to the around the conclusion, because this is a 45 minute basically a stint with our First Fridays Live. So I could say, hey, welcome to First Fridays Live again. And so you could say a little bit about the council, and then throw it back to me, and then
that's great. I'll be glad to do that. Let me just pitch it to you guys with a very short little introduction. Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
okay.
I'm actually in Illinois. My sister and I she does most of the work. We're kind of caregivers for our mom.
Okay.
So I'm actually in Illinois, so that'll give me the easy part of this.
You get it. And then, and then the great part about it is Dr. Jensen will go and basically everybody, and hello everybody. It's basically a meet and greet. We'll be meeting the team, and so I'll set so if you in a sense bring the welcome and say so what I could do is bring the welcome from diversity and aquatics for our first, like what we do, and then say I'd like to introduce our chair of our Tri-Council, and you bring your announcement of the Tri-Council back to me, and then I'll say, and Dr. Jensen is here, right? We're all a part of the Diversity and Aquatics family, and so much more. Our HBCU Council, Tri-Council, Research Council, and today the floor is with our other HU. I'll make a joke, me, but not really, right? I'll kind of correct that, right? Because I shared it with Dr. Jensen earlier, right? HUs don't try. And so today we're here with Hampton University Triathlon, and we are happy we'll be led in this conversation, this first Friday discussion by Dr. Jensen. And then I'll go off, and then I'll throw it to Dr. Jensen, and basically Dr. Jensen, you'll just talk like you shared, introduce the girls, introduce what you do, go with it, and then you can shoot me a note. But as we get to the whenever you're I can look for Q&As in a bit if you're getting to, or just let it be a flow of discussion. Okay. So as we get to that 6:50 mark, or if you feel it's just there and you're ready to open up the flow, we can, but 6:50 we'll give the mark, and then I'll come back on at 6:50 So if you could kind of, if we're wrapping up around that point, and if it's flowing, we'll flow. And then I'll just close and say, this is great. If you want to see more and know more, come and join us with also with great things in our triathlete council at Diversity in Aquatics, but also join us at the upcoming so I'll do our HBCU meet plug in Atlanta on this day, and that's how we'll close.
Wonderful. So team, this is my good friend, Angela Beale. You hear me talk about her quite often, and she swam for the other HU. So we always poke at each other about the HU, but it's all about the love, and certainly we love the fact that we are representing our HBCUs. Also, too, you see my assistant coach, Vanessa, is on. She just graduated East Mennonite University, and so she was a triathlete for East Mennonite University. And she is our assistant coach for the triathlon team, which has been great. So it's looking like I have all of my team members except for 2. So we certainly want to keep with the schedule of time. So
you're doing well. We have 2-minute countdown. So it's still okay. So everything. So you're really just kind of displaying exactly what you're going to do. You're going to do just that, and then we're going to go with it, like with and that's how great it is. That's why I love the flow. This is an opportunity on First Fridays to just be that. So it's rare, but it's welcome, and that's how we go. So we still have 2 minutes. So if anybody needs a bathroom break, or touch, check anything, we still have a whole nother minute to go. Okay, and as you see, if you're okay, this meeting is being recorded, and we do have a note taker, so we'll share this with you. The great part about this, just in terms of the tech, just a nice, we will be posting this. This is going to be a recording. Dr. Lynch won't be with us this evening because HU's swimming right now. They haven't met, but this is really the work we do. So we are so happy you guys are a part of the family. So 1 more minute, and now cameras on, ladies. Oh wait, so I wish no, that's us. So our cameras. So we got 3 cameras in the middle one that you don't see anybody, but you see Miriam, DIA. Don't worry about those. That's all our hidden AI tech. All right, so we're going on the countdown, but hopefully, and ladies, please turn your cameras on. That way we can verify you're here. Okay, and so we are at the 6 o'clock mark now. So if we can get our cameras on. I see 2 others, but are those our cameras or not? I'm trying to see everybody.
Looks like one's Miriam.
No, so I see two Norm. Oh, that's you, Norm. You're on 2 calls. Oh, that's okay. All right, great. So we'll go with who we have. That's the great part. All right. And so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to another First Fridays. I am Dr. Angela Beale-Tawfeeq here today, and we are so excited here in Diversity in Aquatics to really share the voice of so many, our community, our colleges, and really just this state and time to be together with family. With Diversity in Aquatics, we always start with an acknowledgement, a land acknowledgement, where we acknowledge the land upon which we sit and stand, and we thank the caregivers of those lands. And here, as I am sitting in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in this Montgomery County area, I am sitting on the land of the Lenni Lenape Nation, First Nation, and it is grand to be in that space. So as you sit where you are, we hope that you too will acknowledge those who came before us as in terms of our understanding with Sankofa, with Diversity in Aquatics, of reaching back to your history to move forward to your present and your future. That is our goal always in our journey. Today, as you know, we have many councils. And one of the things with Diversity in Aquatics, we say that many hands make hard work easy. So today I would like to introduce you to our Triathlon Council Chair, Mr. Norman Seavers, and we will welcome him to introduce us to today's First Friday Focus. Norman?
Well, I'm so excited about today's topic. I'm not going to take much time. I really want to get into this. I started this sport like 30 years ago, and to have HBCUs now having triathlon team, so exciting for me. So just on behalf of Diversity in Aquatics, the Triathlon Council is so pleased to be a part of this. Welcome, everybody. It's going to be a great show. So Dr. Beale, you and Dr. Jensen, it's all yours.
So we are happy. Guess what I get to do? One of the things at Diversity in Aquatics, I get to meet the network of many experts just like myself. And one of the things, as we said with Mr. Seavers and Dr. Jensen, is colleagues and coworkers become friends. And we say with Diversity in Aquatics, water is access, water is power, and water unites. And so today it is an honor for me to be able to share this space with someone who I call sister and friend, Dr. Jodi Jensen. And as we like to say, the other HU, but we won't say it today. One of the things we are so excited to talk about is Hampton University's triathlon team. And yes, empowering. So as I said, normally we do say the other HU, but HUs don't try. And one of the things is that here at Hampton University, I'm glad they are trying a lot. And so it's an honor to let this conversation be led by my sister, friend, and colleague, Dr. Jodi Jensen.
Wow, Angela, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I say thank you, sis. And when I refer to you, to my team, to other people, I refer to you as a voice in aquatics. And so it is just an honor to work alongside with you. And as you said, to share in this passion of aquatics and to call you not only friend, but to call you sis. So thank you so much for that introduction. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each person introduce themselves. I'm going to start with assistant coach, Coach Vanessa. After Coach Vanessa, we'll have our team captain, Jordan, introduce herself. And from Jordan, we'll go to Naya. And then we'll go to Dominasia. And then we'll go to Shelly. And team, what I'd like to, as part of your introduction, is first and last name, your major, hometown. We'll get through that for the first, that will be the warm up, and then we'll come back around and have you tell your triathlon story by simply answering the question, why triathlon? So Coach V, we're going to start with you.
All right. My name is Vanessa Gardner, and I just recently graduated from Eastern Mennonite University. I was an environmental science major, and I currently work in an environmental lab as a inorganic chemist technician. So I work with a lot of gross stuff that shouldn't go in the environment. My hometown is Springfield, Virginia, so not too far away from Hampton, Virginia. And did I miss anything else?
No, perfect.
Okay.
Perfect introduction. Thank you. Jordan, our team captain.
Hello, co-captain. But hello, my name is Jordan Bryant. I am a graduating senior entrepreneurship major from Los Angeles, California. And I apologize for being kind of like in and out. I'm running an event like right now. So, but we're good. We're good. I'm all here.
Okay, thank you. Naya?
Hello, everyone. My name is Naya Buckner. I'm currently a third-year biochemistry major, double minoring in material science, engineering, and business management from Houston, Texas. And currently on the triathlon team.
Thank you. Dominasia?
Hey everyone, my name is Dominasia Williams. I'm a second-year political science major on the pre-law track from Virginia Beach, Virginia.
And Shelly?
Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Morgan. I'm a second year in the 5-year MBA major from Atlanta, Georgia.
And Dr. Beale, Shelley is who I shared the story with. She's actually from Atlanta and actually swam at the meet. So she's looking forward to coming back and swimming with y'all in December. Okay, so we're going to follow that same order and starting with Coach V, the Y Triathlon.
So before I got into triathlon, I didn't know it even existed. I didn't know it was a thing. I used to be a basketball player. I was recruited for basketball at my school, and my track coach called me and wanted me to join the cross country and track team since I did it in high school. And when I was looking on the school website, I saw that triathlon was listed on there. And I was like, ooh, what's that? Because I wanted to try something else. So I Googled it and it said, 750-meter swim, 12-mile bike ride, and then a 5K. I was like, I don't know how to ride a bike. I can barely swim, but I can run. So I asked him if I could join the team, and I did. And it was definitely a challenge. And I mean, I easily could have quit my first year doing it, but I enjoyed being with my team and pushing myself and doing things I didn't even know that I could do. Like, never in my dreams would I have imagined that I could race for like over, in the beginning it was almost 2 hours because that's how slow I was, but go from that to like going to nationals twice, my junior and senior year, and coming in like I think top 10 my senior year. So to go from that to that, I just love the sport. I love getting better. I love being with my teammates. I love coaching, watching these girls get better. So I just love like the community and just the grind and the pushing and I just love it in general.
Thanks, Coach V. Jordan.
So I got into triathlon mainly because I grew up competitively swimming. I'd heard about triathlon, but I was not interested. I'm very much swim. So once I came to Hampton and realized that there was no swim team and I only heard about triathlon, I was a little nervous. I was like, yeah, I don't know if that's for me. I'm going to try being a regular student. I've always been a student athlete. I was like, let me just try student life. I don't know what that's like. And it was not for me. I need structure. I need discipline. I need like a regimen regularly to like get anything done. And so that's initially why I joined triathlon, but why I stayed in triathlon is because it pushes me beyond like any marker that I've ever set for myself. And it's really a test of your willpower and strength and determination to just do anything really. And every race, I feel more confident in myself and my abilities, just across the board, not just within the sport. So it does a lot more for me. And at the same time, we are creating history. And sometimes at least for myself, I can forget that with just like, wanting to have personal progress. But sometimes I have to step back and be like, wow, this is a big deal.
Yes.
Thanks, Jordan. Naya, why triathlon?
I think me and Jordan have similar stories, and we usually go back and forth because our stories are so similar. I also came from a all swimming background, swim in high school, regionals districts every year. So coming into Hampton, I also had the same kind of mindset of, I'm like really trying to, just try student life and really focus on my studies and things like that. And after about like a month and a half into school, I was like, I feel like I should be doing something else. So I ended up getting into contact with Coach. Mom had kept reminding me, she's like, hey, they have a triathlon team and I think you should look into it. And I'm like, girl, that sounds crazy. Like, that's the stuff that like people who don't love themselves, they do that. And so I'm like, I don't think I should do that. And so I was like, well, let me just go see. And so I ended up having a conversation with Coach, and she invited me to practice and things like that. I loved I love the teams at like team atmosphere and the family kind of oriented team structure that they had going on. And so I was nervous going in until I like did my first race, and I was really like, whoa, like wow, like this is what I'm doing. And also in my mind, I was like, this is doable. Like I could keep doing this. I could continue to do this. And so yeah, so having that swimmer's background really like helped me in the swimming portion. And I did bike like growing up, and I was never really that much of a runner, but my mom was a state runner, so she was like, you can do it. So yeah, so I mean, had a little background in just a little bit of everything. So, you know, I think the reason why I still stay in triathlon, because I just feel like it's more so a mental battle for me than it is physical. I know myself that I have the ability to be whatever I want to be physically. It's just mentally, can I continue to push myself? Can I continue to show up, be there, even when I'm sick, even when not feeling good, had a bad day? Team can attest, I've been there. And so, yeah, I just really think that it just really pushes myself as a person, and continue to sorry, my grandma's calling, sorry. I continue to grow as a person. So yeah, so sorry.
Very nice, Naya. Dominasia, why triathlon?
I chose triathlon because my freshman year, I guess it's similar to their stories as well. Freshman year, I wasn't really doing too much, and I came from a swimmer's background as well. I happened to see a picture of Naya, Jordan, and Heather at their one of their races. I don't know if it was nationals or what, but I've seen it online, and I was like, oh, this kind of look like, it's something like it'll be able to push myself. And I needed the discipline because I was going to the gym on my own, but it's a little bit difficult if you don't got the push and the discipline in yourself to do it. So I figured joining a team, being in that environment would help me continue to push myself further and to find out my limits on what I can do physically. And yeah, it was just nice to have being an athlete again back into my life. That's pretty much it.
Thanks, Diamond. Michelle.
Kind of same story. I was a swimmer in high school. Joined the summer league. Was in the summer league, just swimming. And I came to Hampton. I honestly did not think I was going to be doing anything on the collegiate level when I came to school. So again, I was just going to the gym by myself, kind of like Diamond. And I did not know triathlon existed. What happened was I went to Coach's office because she's the director of Aquatics. I went to her office for a lifeguarding application, and I left with a swim cap. So I got recruited for 2 things that day. And Coach invited me out for the practices. Met the team. At the time, it was just Jordan, Heather, and Naya, and they were just like the sweetest people. Like they were so nice to me, so welcoming, and it was just really nice to have a feeling of having a team again and having people around you that would push you. So don't know. I mean, I know why, but sometimes I ask myself why I stay in this crazy sport, and it's really because of my team. Like I love my team. So yeah, the sport definitely pushes me mentally and physically, but at the same time, it kind of shows me that I can and can't do like everything. I mean, I can do everything. Like if people, are here to support me. So I joined triathlon because of the team, and I joined triathlon because it shows me something I knew I could do every day. So yeah.
Excellent. Very nice. So, okay. So round 2, and I think it's important that Vanessa, we come back to you and talk about how we met and why not only you were moving to Hampton and the location of Hampton University and where you were moving to, but it just the stars aligned. Coach Vanessa, and same thing with Angela, in the sense of when you share a passion, then that friendship occurs. And in this short amount of time, I feel like I can call Vanessa by far my sister, and and at races. I call her my human support human. We had a race in Richmond, and it was a duathlon, result of the hurricane. We couldn't do the open water swim. And that morning that we were racing, it was, we had rain, and it was an asphalt course, and literally saw 6 wipeouts, gnarly wipeouts. And after the third wipeout, I was just like, where's Vanessa? I can't take this because I'm watching my team and I'm doing this, slow down. I mean, it was a very fast course and tight turns. And, but anyways, Vanessa, I'd like for one to tell your story, how you came and joined us. And for the second round of questions, why it's important that we as HU's triathlon team and go compete at these races. So Coach V, you are up.
Thanks, Jodi. I'm also very grateful to have met you. Me and Coach Jodi met last year at the Nationals banquet. I was with my team. You know, every year they got the Nationals banquet. You come in the day before the race, and they hold the food, not awards, food, the little discussion, and you get to pick where you are when you start on the line for your team. So we ate, and I saw Jodi and her team in the corner, a few tables behind us. And I was thinking, because I was thinking about my future and like what I wanted to do. And I didn't want to leave triathlon and like leave like the team aspect of it, because I still run, swim, and bike on my own. But I just wanted to continue to be a part of that and like help others, or I don't know, just be there in some way or form. So after the banquet ended, I walked over. I told my teammates about it. I was really nervous to go over there. I was like, should I go over there? I was like, maybe I shouldn't do it. I almost didn't do it, but my teammates convinced me. They're like, no, you should go, make that connection. So I went up pretty nervous, and I introduced myself, and I told Jodi that next summer, or this upcoming summer, I would be moving down to Hampton, Virginia with my boyfriend, and I would love to be either an assistant coach or a volunteer or somehow involved in it. And thankfully, she said she was looking for an assistant coach. So we exchanged numbers, and I texted her a lot. She kind of faked out on me a couple of times, but she was busy. So I get it. It's okay. But I was persistent, and eventually we were able to meet up, and we had a little meeting. We had a discussion, and I came on as a volunteer assistant coach. So here I am. And then, I told her I wanted to do this because one thing that I noticed at triathlons is it was mostly white dominated, and my team itself was mostly white. I'm mixed. I'm black and white, so I was the only mixed girl on my triathlon team, and one of two on my cross country team. So every time I went to races, I could count the number of colored girls on my hand, and I'm just like, geez, it just felt nice to see like Hampton University. And then there were a couple teams with like some Asians and Hispanics, but it was very hard to see like color. Like it was all just white girls, which is okay, but like it kind of showed the disparity between like access to biking and swimming. And that kind of bothered me. I was like, why is this happening? I mean, I know like biking, like cycling stuff, it's expensive. Triathlon itself is a very expensive sport. So it's hard for minorities or low income families with children to have access to running, cycling, swimming, especially all three. So it's going to races and seeing the disparity just is a sign of how big the disparity is. So I wanted to be a part of a team that had colored girls, and I wanted to be a part of that progress and helping them get better, because it's not fair that it's mostly white dominated instead of it being either half and half or like split. You know, I just think there should be more representation in the sport. So I just wanted to be a part of that. So I wanted to come and give my assistance and help these girls get better and beat a lot of those really good teams out there. So yeah.
Thank you, Coach V. Jordan, you're up next. Why is it important that you do triathlon?
Like I mentioned earlier, it's bigger than me. I have always been a large advocate for Black people to get into aquatics, wherever that is. And I'm currently in school creating my nonprofit, Streamline Aquatics, so that I can put aquatic facilities in Black communities for that access, so that they can actually afford it and they have all the resources available. So it's all bigger than us, and I feel like sometimes we just have to stay the course for the people that come behind us, and it's representation matters a lot, because personally at meets and any type of triathlon event or even swim, I noticed that I was one of the only Black individuals there, whether it be female or male. Like Vanessa said, I could count on one hand how many people that looked like me were there. And that can mess with your mind, as well as, your thoughts on how well you can execute whatever you're into. So I really feel like us being here and us being in the world and the sport is a large deal, because it just opens the doors for any other person, girl, whatever, that wants to get into the sport or get into aquatics, period. They have us to look at and be like, oh, they did it, so I could probably do it too. And triathlon is, I won't say it's easier than I thought, but people can do it. If we can do it, people can do it, So it's like, it's really, it's something that can be done. It's not impossible. And I like that we are making that path for others.
Nice. Thank you, Jordan. Naya, you are up next. Why is it important that you do triathlon?
I would say that I believe it's important that I myself continue to participate in triathlon. Just like everyone else kind of touched on, representation. For me personally, I have witnessed both sides of like Black representation in aquatics. In Houston, Texas, there was a team called HCAP, the Harris County Aquatics program, and they basically their team was fostered around teaching Black kids how to swim, other colored kids how to swim, and basically our whole team practically was I don't know how to say the words, was basically our whole team was people like the minority. And us coming to swim meets was different because we were the biggest team and we had the most people, and we were like a fly in a haystack. And it's just crazy to kind of come to a new experience and kind of be around like a different kind of like vibe and or in the team atmosphere, because back then I had a lot of support. It wasn't just me, it was 100 other Black kids doing the same thing that I was doing. And so transitioning over from middle school to high school, I joined a different team, and I've gotten the same experience. There's only maybe about five other Black and brown kids on the team. And and it was just an experience like, wow, like the experience that I have was like a one of a kind experience. Not everybody is able to do these type of things. And what I had, Black people like flourished in a way. And so I would like to see more of that in every other sport, honestly. And so triathlon is new. Not well, at least it was new to me. Not a lot of people knew about it. So I believe if we keep putting our faces out there, keep participating and doing what we have to do, we can get more representation in the sport. And I believe that's really, really important. just to show like other Black and brown girls that, girl, you can do this. Like, if I'm doing it, girl, you could do it. And so, yeah, that's what I think.
Nice. Thank you, Naya. Dominasia, why triathlon? Why is it important?
I think that like before I really was involved within the team and like doing everything, I didn't really realize the importance of it. But at seeing my family's reaction to me doing something on this caliber has really shown me that it's not expected of black girls to do something like that. Like, they really take it and they're like praise me, even though I may have like the slowest time or maybe in the back of the pack. They're always like, oh, you're doing something nobody else would do. Like, you're really out here doing something different that shows that, like, you know, us black girls can do it. Even if you're not in the front of it, you're still showing that, you know, we can do it. We're no different than anybody else that's out here trying to do it. It's just the fact of we don't have, you know, the resources or like certain things to get out there to do triathlon. So I think that it's important for like us to continue to grow and do better, to show the like little black girls, like even the guys, that, you know, you can do triathlon, just because it's not, you know, something that we're used to or accustomed to. Like, for example, basketball, every young man can pick up a basketball and, you know, believe he can do it. Just because it's not like that don't mean that we can't. So I think it's good that we're showing that, you know, it's possible and that we are out here doing things like that.
Thank you, Dominatia. Michelle, why triathlon? Why is it important?
I believe triathlon is important because same thing with the swimming representation. When I was swimming, I don't know if anybody is from the DeKalb area back, like, you know, in Atlanta and stuff like that. But I went to MLK, so we actually had a pretty big swim program with my coach. And like, well, kind of same thing with Naya. Like, while in the county, because most of the schools in DeKalb County are predominantly Black. Yeah, we would go to like the predominantly Black meets, and like, you know, we would be there, be a vibe, you know, people, everybody, you know, kind of knows each other, and, you know, you're celebrating your times and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more laid back. But one thing he would do is take us out to those other counties, and we'll go to those meets that are predominantly white, that are, you know, not even like we've been to meets where we are the only Black people there. There is no like, you know, they have their one on their team that's Black, you know, like we were the only Black people there. And it's kind of scary. It can be kind of scary. But for us to be I know I would say the more that we were doing it, the more teams we would see come out. So I guess for triathlon, it's important for us to like kind of do the same thing. Like, if people see us out here and maybe they're scared to join us, then we can be the ones that are like, hey, we're here. You can come and join with us. Like, we're here, and you can come be with us. You know, it's still friendly competition, but you know, there are people that look like you that are here, so come here too. So I just think that's important for acting as like a pillar, I guess, of representation. Also, same thing with Diamond. Like, my family, even if I will be like the last one or something in the race, they're still like, you're doing something incredible. Like, you don't see a lot of Black people doing this either. Like, you're one of the only ones coming out here and doing it. So my mom and my dad, biggest support system. So I definitely think the same way we have our mom and dad, well, my mom and dad is a support system, we should be a support system to the other people that are sitting up there trying to do triathlons. Also, just like, you know, it's possible, you can do it. And because same thing, we were out here doing it, so you can do it too. So yeah.
Wow, team. Wow. Spoke your truth. My heart is glowing right now. Sis, opening up to questions, feedback.
Absolutely. So it is such an honor to have you all here. And one of the things that we like to say at Diversity in Aquatics is that it is a home away from home. Water, as we said before, is a place where healing can occur, where courage can occur. It gives so much more. And so some of the things that you talked about, and that's what we were very honored when we talk about Diversity in Aquatics has many councils. And so our membership is who actually, where the voice comes from. So having the opportunity with Dr. Jensen and Mr. Seavers to really talk about the history of which you speak. The question that we have is, USA Triathlon does state that they, quote, "We recognize our sport has not been living up to Americans' ideals of equal opportunity and access." And so one of the main barriers to entry in this multi-sport is the expense. What are some recommendations or ideas? And this isn't something that you have to have a definite for, but if you had a chance to speak with USA Triathlon right now, what would you say? What would you say to them about how they could truly, intentionally begin to make change? Right. Shelly?
I didn't know if we had to raise our hands or
Yeah, no,
whatever,
it's your,
so.
this is you guys' time. It's not a wait. So my, that's the panel, right? I get to ask a question, but really just think tank, popcorn, share what you think.
I don't know like the, all the details, but this is just an idea. I think if USA Triathlon would like to do something like that to include like more diverse teams, and they know like Vanessa was saying, there is a big disparity. This sport is very expensive. So if they would have like an event where it'd be like sponsor a new upcoming team or something like that, or at least like maybe they would give out grants or something to like starter teams of HBCUs, or not even HBCUs, just like other, like their rec leagues and stuff like that too. So just things like that. Like I guess starter grants, like you could pitch, like if you can come together with at least 5 people that are willing to do a triathlon and they're people of color, then we will sponsor like your starting races and stuff like that. So that's like kind of like a little idea. It's really, I honestly don't think finding the people is going to be hard, because there's people like us. There's swimmers out there that don't know what to do, that maybe want to try something new. There's runners out there, maybe they want a new challenge and stuff like that. So I don't think finding the people is hard. I do think it's the financial aspect. So maybe something like sponsor a new team or something like that would show like an initiative to get more people of color in there, and just get them more involved and stuff like that. Yeah.
Dr. B.
Oh,
Dr.
Go
B.
ahead. Yes.
A quick comment. That's a great idea that Shelly threw out there about kind of the grant program. That might work better from the ground up, working with local race directors, and having local race directors offer a scholarship for, a new triathlete, or 4 or 5 slots open every race. That really might work better from the grounds up with some of those local race directors. Not saying that USAT could not also, say, hey, we bless this, this initiative, and put a little pressure on their race directors. But that's a great idea.
Awesome.
Some of the ideas that I've had were going to like local schools and seeing if some of the students were like basically informational about triathlon, because another issue aside from financial aspects is knowledge. A lot of people don't know what triathlon is. I speak to at least one person a day that has no idea what triathlon is. They immediately think it's track and try to go about their day. I'm like, it's not track. It's an entirely different sport. So I think the first level would be to have more informationals to those who require that access. And then from there, like having like maybe a big sister, little sister type of deal at the schools to like help mentor them throughout their triathlon progress, and like just be that personal mentor for them, because like triathletes are going to be able to help triathletes. That's why that Vanessa is so crucial and appreciated on this team, because she really can give us that insight and that further like experience to really like feed off of. And I think that if we're going to sponsor kids or give kids scholarships, they should start from where our opponents are starting from, because yes, there are people like us who are interested in triathlon and are willing to just jump into it, but the people we're competing have been competing since they were children. Just like how when all of us are swimmers, we were swimming our whole lives. It's like that. They need that leg up as well. So I feel like to start off, it'd be like a little sister, big sister, big brother too, because we could also implement a men's team at Hampton. I've been actually, coach, I've been getting a lot of questions about there being a men's team. So, just food for thought. But yeah, I feel like that like mentorship type of thing would be like one of the better ways to start off, other than pure informational, so people actually know what the sport is.
Yeah. And I think to Jordan's point, one of the things that DIA has done, we've worked with Black Girls Do Run and Black Men Run, and we've done some relays so that you got a cyclist, got to run, then one of the runners takes the run, because the sport is so, to me, engaging. If you see it, you're going to be excited about it. You come and watch a triathlon, it is really like, it's amazing. So that's one of the things that they've done, that we've tried with some success. And I think the whole idea of relays just brings more voices into the sport. People can then word of mouth, talk about the sport. But kind of just trying to build on Jordan's point there.
To add on to what Jordan was saying, I think that like if they really want to implement change, that they should come into more communities where Black people are, because I've noticed in our races where like our race venues are like in very much like white communities, and in one of our races it was a little bit uncomfortable for us because we were seeing different signs and things that wasn't very welcoming. So I think like if they do want to actually have more people, that like more diversity, they need to go into like different areas where it's diverse people at. So like, we can advertise in different places other than the heavily white communities. I think that'll be helpful.
Good point. Good point.
Absolutely. So these are all, I mean, and it's the beginning. And so that's why when the opportunity of one of the the pillars of diversity in aquatics are to educate, promote, and support. Really, the idea of, we start with awareness, and that's what you guys are saying. And some of the things you guys also said are about raising how representation matters, and the idea of really the goals when we're talking about it. Where does it start? So a lot of what happens is, one of the reasons that we're talking about are barriers. Diversity in Aquatics talks about it from the standpoint of water safety, right? Water safety awareness, and how we do know the impact of, really from a public health lens, that is what we do. So that's what we know. We see you guys have been adopted and you didn't know it, but you now have a family in terms of, as you think about your initiatives, when we're talking about, as Coach Gardner said, in terms of access, water access, when you're talking about water equity. So let's influence, when you enter into the idea of access and equity, you have goals, right? And the goals of increasing awareness around the importance of triathlon and how it means so much more are what we hope that you guys will definitely share and bring. So a question with our HBCU, some of the great events that we're going to have, and as we get ready to come to some of our closure, what would you, if you could say, for example, reach out in your own community, the Hampton University community, because when we're talking about HBCUs serve as homes for communities. And communities, as we said, community building is another way to help raise awareness. If you could have a wish for actually just an event at your school to raise awareness in the entire community, what would you think might be a place to start to basically help HBCUs understand the why and the importance of why triathlons or starting triathlon teams, why they mean something? What would you recommend and share through example at Hampton University for other for a model for other HBCUs to follow to raise awareness? Go ahead, Shelly. Shelly's raising her hand. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna say disclaimer. I definitely stole this idea from Coach, but the relays on campus, I think is definitely an event that like, okay, like we can host the actual event of the relay and it'd be like, okay, come try to see if you can keep up with the triathlete, or like this is so people that it's actually possible. And then afterwards, kind of have like I guess like a more serious like informational side to this. Okay, well, we just did this stupid bike, this swim, this long run and stuff like that. But why do we do it? Well, we do it because, and then like that can be like a follow up type of event up after this. So like people, anytime I explain to somebody what a triathlon is, they're like, why would you willingly do this? So I think one, to do it with me for one, to show you like, hey, you can do it too, or like, we can dial it down a little bit because I don't think nobody's gonna want to do a full triathlon, but we can dive the event down just a little bit, and then afterwards explain why we do what we do, or why we have the drive to sit up there and try to do something that seems impossible but is possible, to show other people that you can do it too. Like, I'm human, you're human. Like, you might think that there's different levels to this, but like it's possible. So yeah,
Nice,
something like
nice. You know what? And the idea that just floated into my head, the barrier, I guess you could say, the drawback is the whole cycling portion. So, Norman, as you know, the clip-in shoes, the expensive triathlon bike, the helmet, that right there, you're talking $1,500 just talking about the cycle. So how fun would it be to say the triathlon team does a relay that each one of the tri members, you do the bike portion and you recruit somebody to do the swim, somebody to do the run. And I think for the geriatric, I mean the older, Dr. Beale has been floating the idea, has been swimming in her head about, she has said on more than one occasion, Jodi, I'm getting inspired to consider doing a triathlon. So I think Coach V would love to be on your relay team. She could do the bike. We'll let you off the hook this time, and you can do the swim. And Norman, if you'd like to come up to Hampton, you could do the run portion to represent the youth of this team that I'm talking about. Shelly, great idea. And I'm sorry, sis, I cut you off. Please continue.
I kind of want to piggyback off of what Shelly was saying. Me and Jordan, and also our former teammate Heather, had the opportunity to kind of be able to talk to, I believe it was middle schoolers and elementary schoolers. It was an event that Hampton hosted with all the athletic teams, where we all had to figure out how to turn our sport miniature. So the kids could basically see what we do and participate, but not participate fully, but to the extent where they understand what we're doing and they learn about different sports and things like that. So what we had the kids do was they kind of did butterfly kicks on the floor as a representation of swimming, and then they did they sat on a chair and did bicycle knee pumps for a couple seconds, and then they did a suicide as a run. And so that was a really, really great way. And after that, we got to explain everything to them and why that we did it and why this became for this and all that, in the ins and outs and things like that. And I thought that was a really great way to quickly introduce the sport to them, and they'll remember that. So yeah, I feel like that's a good way to kind of get back to our youth. I really did enjoy that event. It went on for about like an hour and a half, and it was really cool. We got to interact with a lot of kids. We had like a a role going. We did our thing. And it was just really fun, kind of like talking to them and mentoring them, and they came from all different kind of backgrounds and things like that. So I feel like that's a great way to kind of implement getting back to the community and things like that. So I do think that what Shelly was talking about earlier is a really, really great way to give back to the community. And if we wanted to downsize, we could also do something similar to that.
Yeah. Dr. J, to your point on the cycling part, I always thought, that is such a big expensive part of this sport. It would be neat to see, rather than it make it look like the most expensive tri bike in the world is a problem, have a race where you're encouraged to bring a beach cruiser or whatever bike you've got in your garage, and make it a fun triathlon where all the emphasis is not on the $6,000 new Cervelo, P-Series tri-bike, and just kind of let people know that you can do a triathlon on any bike that you have available to you.
Excellent point. Thank you. Yes. Yes.
So we know that time is priceless. And so we here of Diversity in Aquatics, thank you all. Ladies, you are family, and our audience, we really want you to understand that Diversity in Aquatics is made up of a network that saves and changes lives. And ladies, like you said here, Diversity in Aquatics' goals are to increase awareness. And what you did today was you increased awareness around water safety and drowning prevention, whether or not you know it, right? But with Diversity in Aquatics, we have a tree where the roots might start in awareness in water safety, learn to swim, drowning prevention opportunities, but then it sprouts like a tree out to careers and more. And with our approach, we do, right? We approach it through water safety and what we're talking about through social justice, education, and public health. And it's to address the impacts of, like you said, race, socioeconomic circumstances, and cultural differences. But we know and acknowledge that. But what you guys are saying, you are representation that shows we know our challenges, we know the problems, but at Diversity in Aquatics with you, we are problem solvers. You are change agents, and we thank you so much for being here today. So, as we get ready to close out, some of the things we like to do is invite everyone here to go on to diversityaquatics.org and make sure you check in. If you want to see more of our events, a lot of things that we have coming up. We have our Rise Up Summit coming up in Florida and actually at North Ocean Drive in Dania Beach, Florida, and that's coming up where we're celebrating and doing it in celebration of International Men's Day, and that's Saturday, November 16th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. in Hollywood, Florida. And the purpose of that is to commemorate really wellness and water for a better future. So that actually it's themed flowing forward, wellness and water for a better future. And this unique event is dedicated to exploring the intersection of wellness and water and emphasizing the importance of water safety, opportunities within careers, and fathers and family and men's health with raising that awareness. And guess what? If you want to see more of the Hampton University, we won't say the other HU because it is our HU, we'll embrace it, and get to know more about trying triathlon, join us for the HBCU Celebration Bowl Water Safety Festival and Swim Meet, which we're hosting in Atlanta, December 13th through 14th in 2024. And the great thing about it is on Friday, we hold our developmental swimming meet. Like you lately said, you gave me an idea of a station. So Shelly, you better be ready because that might be yours in the Developmental and Water Safety Festival. We there with you, Doc. It's on. And we also having the opportunity to participate in the next day, the actual HBCU swimming meet, where HBCUs who really are planting seeds in the community are going to be together in honor of Harold Bingo Head Water Safety Festival swimming meet. That's what it is. Morehouse Harold Bingo Head Water Safety Swim Festival is filled with fun activities, giving back to the community, and so much more. And so we thank you all. We thank you all for your time. We thank you for coming and really planting the seed. You are now home. We have a lot of events that we want to do with you. And we thank you, Triathlon, Mr. Seavers and the Triathlon Council for sponsoring this awesome event.
Did she disappear for y'all?
Did we lose
I think
Dr.
we
Beale?
stopped recording.
Yeah,
I think that was
yeah.
it. Hey.
Yeah, I think we had lost her.
Oh,
Well, Tri-Team, thank you for joining us. Norman, thank you so much to meet you, your feedback. I look forward to collaborating with you. It's something that I'm a dreamer. Something that I would like to do is a triathlon, an HBCU triathlon in Hampton at Fort Monroe. The rich history of Fort Monroe, the national marker of the first African American or the first Africans to step foot on U.S. Soil. That marker is at Fort Monroe. So what better way to pay homage? So that's something that I'm working on, and it would be great to partner with Diversity and Aquatics and all of our human resources together to make that happen. So I look forward to working with everybody. Sis, you're back. I'm going to hand the mic back to you to finish out.
I know my dang. I think it's my. Yeah, I think my connection's bad. So okay. So y'all go ahead and I will circle back. Thank you so much, guys. You are so appreciated.
Yes, thank you guys.
And
Awesome.
enjoy the rest of your
Thank
evening.
you
I know
for
the
having
internets are
us.
bad. The
thank you for
connections.
having us.
All right.
Yes.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Have a
I'll
great
see-
night.
Thanks. I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yes.